morning, good morning, good morning. You gotta just love the Holy Spirit, y'all. You gotta just love the Holy Spirit. Okay. So, I have a message for y'all. Yes. So yesterday, God said continue to win. You know what I mean? I wasn't feeling the message. I'm like, I don't want to continue nothing, God. You know, we have our days, we have our moments. But I love when he gives me additional details, and I love when he comes in and comforts. And one thing that is so reassuring is, let me just tell you something. If God is with you, who can be against you? Come on, yo, you have God with you. If God is with you, who could be against you? Really just take it. A lot of times we hear stuff like that. We hear it, right? And we're like, yeah, that's true. But are you really taking it in? If God is with you, who could be against you? Really just take that in. You see what I'm saying? So this morning, okay, the Lord mentioned it again, continue to win. And he gave me additional details last night, and he gave me additional details this morning. Okay, let me just tell you something. If God had told you where he was going to lead you earlier, you probably wouldn't have wanted to go. You probably would have backed out. You probably would have been like, God, that's not for me. I can't do it, God. But the thing about it is God can see the strength that we can't see that's within us. Sometimes we don't even know how strong we are until we are put in positions and situations and we have no choice but to be strong through it. Had we known about the obstacle beforehand, or had we known about the situation beforehand and we had a decision to choose whether we want to do it or not, we probably would have said no. You get what I'm saying? So God will put us in situations that's going to strengthen us, that's going to benefit us in the long haul without us even realizing it. Let me tell you something about Saul and David, because that's the example he used last night and this morning, okay? Had God told David, you're going to be king, you're going to take Saul's position, you're going to take Saul's position, you're going to be king, and you are going to rule a specific kingdom, and Saul's going to come after you and try to kill you. Do you think David would have been hanging around Saul? Do you think David would have went to Saul to help Saul out? Do you think David would have wanted to be Saul's servant in the beginning? You remember when he went and he was Saul's servant in the beginning? It was kind of like he was Saul's assistant in the beginning. Do you think David would have been okay with that, knowing in the back of his mind, oh my God, I'm going to take this man's position. I'm going to be king. Oh my gosh, this man's going to end up trying to kill me. No, because he would have been uncomfortable. He would have been uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? And because David is not that kind of person, he probably wouldn't have went. He's not the kind of person to know he's taking someone's place and still be around that person, still hang around that person. He probably would have been so uncomfortable, like, man, I'm hanging around the very man that's going to try to kill me. That's going to try to bring obstacles and challenges my way. That's going to try to defeat me. I'm hanging around that man who's going to very much try to take my life. David would not have hung around him. But let me tell you something. In order for David to be put in the position that he was in, that God needed him to be in, David had to be in that position. David had to be around Saul. David had to hang around Saul. He had to defeat Goliath. All of that happened with David had to play out. It had to play out. Had David known, a lot of the events that occurred would not have played out. Do you get what I'm saying? And if it did not play out, guess what? It would not have led him to the position that he's going to be in, or that he became king in. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say with that is, God is saying, had he told y'all, a lot of y'all, every single detail about your prophecy, every single thing that's about to come your way, had he told y'all every single thing, y'all would have probably backed out. Hence why sometimes you won't even receive prophecies about what's to come until you're already in the position, or you won't receive a prophecy about a specific obstacle until you're like literally in a position to where you can't avoid it. You have no choice but to fight through it. Because God knows that you fighting through that obstacle and you being in that position at that right time, at that very moment that you're supposed to be in, that's going to also contribute to the outcome of your prophecy, to where God needs you to be. It's kind of like most of the times we go through things in life and we're like, God, if I could turn back time, I would turn back time, God. And it's kind of like, why? Why would you even want to turn back time? How do you not know that if you went back and turned back time, how do you not know that it wouldn't mess up your prophecy in the future? Because a second in someone's day can change a lot of things. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't have control over the future. God does. We have control of our steps in the very moment, but we don't have control of our full future. God does. Do you get what I'm saying? He can show us things that's ahead, yes, and we can avoid certain things because he showed us things, yes, but we don't have full control over the future because, let me tell you something, even though we may know what's to come because God may tell us some things, we have no control over other people's actions. David had no control over Saul's actions. David did not have control over Saul trying to kill him. Do you get what I'm saying? David didn't have control over that, but David was still put in a position to where he was walking towards a king position. You get what I'm saying? Even when he found out, because Jonathan told him, like, yo, my dad is going to try to kill you. You get what I'm saying? My dad's trying to kill you because he had a dream that you were king and you took his spot. Right? So even when David found out, David was like, nah, I'm getting out of here. So he boogied, okay? He left, okay? But even when David left, he still had no control over Saul chasing him, trying to find him, and still trying to kill him. You get what I'm saying? God only has control over our future. So let me tell you something. What God is trying to say is when he puts us in a specific position and we are going through obstacles and difficulties, best believe these obstacles and difficulties are a part of the outcome. They are to lead us to the outcome. They're meant to lead us to the outcome because had we changed anything, the outcome possibly would have changed. You know how else you'll know? Because no matter what you're going through, God is still showing you that prophecy. He is still showing you the outcome of at the end. He hasn't changed the prophecy. When the prophecy has not changed, it means every single thing that's coming your way, every single arrow that's coming your way, every single blessing that's coming your way, it means it's just all a part of the plan. Because have anything changed, it could have changed the outcome. You get what I'm saying? Because God knows our story before we know it. We don't even know our full story. God has written our story before we even knew we had a story. Okay. He wrote our story before we were even formed in the womb. Okay. So he wrote our story before we even knew we had a story. You see what I'm saying? And like I said before, had he told many of you guys what you're going to endure and what you're going to battle, you probably would have said no. So it's kind of like God had to lead us into the position that we're in. So it's kind of like we have no choice but to say yes because we're already in the position. We're already on our way there. It's kind of like we're already on the transportation towards our destination. Ooh, okay. Bars. Okay. So I wanted to just give you guys this confirmation that, you know, continue to win. When God says continue to win, it means like you're already winning. You're already winning despite what's being thrown your way. You're already winning because you being in the position you're in towards a destination, it's like God has already mapped that all out. God has already wrote this as a part of your story, right? So everything is going according to God's plan. So you are already winning, okay? Even if it doesn't feel like it, okay? Continue to win, y'all. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.